Well, this sort of segues well into this reel I saved that I thought was interesting. I'm just going to play it. I won't play the whole thing. I think
Sure.
it goes for about 2 minutes. Sorry, it's on Instagram, so I have to. I'm going to do.
You have to sell your soul to get access to it.
No, because it just auto plays. So I'm going to open it, and then
What happened to you? This used to be one of the most vibrant cities in the world. Our restaurant was once full, bookings every night, laughter echoing through the walls, and food made with soul. Now, we're lucky if a few tables fill. And it's not just us, it's all around. Small businesses are dying in silence while rent climbs, costs soar, and politicians pretend everything's fine. We're in a recession, whether they want to say it or not. People can't afford to go out. Families are struggling, and somehow the government still acts like this is just a phase. But it's not. It's the reality they helped create. The economy is tanking, and the people who built this city, the chefs, the creatives, the small business owners, we're the ones paying the price. We're closing down soon, not because we failed, but because the system did. So before we go, ask yourself this. Where are you spending your money? Who are you choosing to support? And what kind of city do you want to live in? Because without small businesses, culture dies, community dies, and all that's left is soulless chains and boarded up shop fronts. This isn't just a goodbye, it's a wake-up call.
Yeah, spot on. This whole episode could become just my past videos being played. I did a video many years ago, part of a thing called the Lifestyle Regulation Madness series. I did it on King's Cross, where they brought in a curfew and early closing hours and so forth for King's Cross because 2 people had been killed in street fights. The irony was the curfew was 2:00 in the morning. The fatalities happened, I think one of them was at 9:30 at night and the other one was at about 10:30 at night. So how exactly this curfew was going to save people who were killed in the much earlier hours of the evening, I'm not quite sure. But I went to King's Cross and I covered that and talked about the impact that this was going to have, and that a lot of these established venues, there's a commoditization that happens when something is new and novel and interesting. You can, as a business owner, you can usually charge a higher margin. You can make more money because people are going to pay a premium for the curiosity, the novelty. Any new technology benefits from that. But over time, it becomes a commodity. And over time, an established restaurant, well, the people that are going to go and try it out have gone and tried it out. And now they just actually have to deliver. They just actually have to deliver good food at a good price, etc. They're competing in a commoditized, relatively speaking, commoditized marketplace, which means that your margins decline. Which means that over time, a business that is now successful and is making money and the business owner can keep it going, they're only able to keep it going because they've now streamlined everything. They've optimized everything. They've figured out all the 1%ers here and there over let's say 10 years of operation, and they can make it work. And then they get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. And then the economy goes bad like it is now, and they go out of business. And people go, oh, that's okay, a new one will start up. No. If the established one that it had 10 years to sort out its systems and build up a loyal client base, etc., couldn't survive, a new one that is not going to be able to be as efficient will not survive. They will benefit from the novelty early on. They'll get the novelty boom. And as soon as that wears off, they don't have the 10 years of efficiency and optimization to be able to survive.
Yeah.
That's point one. Point two, when we have an economy that is officially growing on paper, that GDP is still going up. Well, GDP per person is declining very rapidly, and that matters. People say, it doesn't matter. Just so long as the GDP is going up, then there's still lots of money moving around the system. No, because our individual spending habits and where we spend our money is directly influenced by how much spare we have. A growing economy with the same number of people, which means that each of us individually now has more money to play with, is going to spend its money in very different places to an economy where the economy is getting bigger, but per person we're getting poorer. Our spending habits are going to be radically different in those two scenarios, even though the GDP growth might be identical. And discretionary spending, like restaurants, suffer enormously when individual GDP is declining, which is what's happening right now.
Well, I agree with you, but as I say, I have to bring it to the comments because, that's how we see it.
Sure.
We're entrepreneurial minded.
And we're right.
Correct. But I need to, and this is why I keep, as much to your dismay, keep focusing on comment threads.
Then talk about other people's comment threads, not ours, all right?
I read the comments where my attention is. All right. So I'm just going to read you a handful of comments. There's quite a few, but I'll read the ones that stand out.
Sure.
Where's the first one? Okay.
You're going to put them on screen, or?
Oh, I can, but you probably won't be able to read them.
Eh.
Okay, so to eat pasta, $43 a plate when it costs $1.99 in the shop. Thank you, I can cook it at home. I am shocked with terrible service in Australia. I live on the Central Coast and dirty tables and old chairs, no one cleaning their tables on time, rudeness of staff, and menu is horrible. Sorry, you asked why we're not eating out. I gave you my honest answer. And then
Sure.
another person says, where are Aussies spending their money? Mortgage and groceries. It's that simple. The house prices have gotten so high that everyone is just sitting at home watching TV like good little citizens, worrying about how they're going to pay for their $1.8 million shoebox.
Yeah. And that's that individual declining GDP.
Right. And then now we get into the other comments. When restaurants started charging $30 for a hamburger or $40 for a pasta, we stopped going out. It's priorities. And then someone's written, have you seen their menu, roasted wild clover lamb shoulder, potato and chicory for $79? No wonder no one's going out for that price. Wake up, guys. And then other people go, I totally agree with you. I've had restaurants all my life, but when you're dealing service in your locals, you tell me how you can afford a meal at the price. Roasted wild clover lamb shoulder, $79. That's just one person. It's not passing traffic about your local sport. Sorry, that's how it was written.
Yeah.
And then other people going, there's a combination of what people are blaming here. So I agree with the small business. I understand the sentiment.
Sure.
But people saying, no, you business, you're the one at fault. You set the prices too high. People aren't able to connect the dots with everything's gone up. Therefore, the business's overheads have gone up.
Look, there is a sliver of truth to the criticism in the sense that they've gone for a niche that is declining fastest. That's what's happening is within their particular area, as people pull back on the discretionary spending, one of the ways in which we do that, for someone who's already poor and wasn't eating out to begin with, they go from, having meat twice a week to never having meat. That's what it looks like for them. For someone who's a little bit wealthier, it goes from eating out once a month to never eating out. For someone who's wealthier, again, it goes from eating out at the place that had the $79 rosemary lamb shoulder to eating out at the place that has the $40 Parma.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it looks like for them. So, in the same way that, when we have recessions, there are actually some businesses in Australia that do well, and those are specifically the ones that are catering to the people that used to go overseas for their holidays. And they go, we have to cut back. We're not going to Aspen this year. We're not going to go and ski in Switzerland. We're going to go and do something in Australia instead, right? And there are actually businesses that can actually pick up under tough economic conditions if they're in the right niche.
Yeah.
So the criticism that, your food's too expensive. Well, that's a niching issue. There are restaurants that are surviving better.
But I would argue that's like saying that Louis Vuitton bags are too expensive. I'm like, to you? Yeah, because
exactly.
you're not meant to buy them.
But as a business, you have to appeal to a niche that exists.
Yes.
And so evidently what's happened is in their particular locality, they don't have enough people willing to come out and buy a $79 rosemary lamb shoulder, and they're suffering. Now, they could shut their doors, which, by the way, doesn't mean the owners are bankrupt. It could mean we've run this business for a long time.
They're just not having fun anymore.
We're not having fun. We're losing money month by month, and we're going to shut it down before we've lost all our money.
Hey guys, thanks for watching another short clip from The Oddcast. If you want to watch the full video, it's over on YouTube at The Oddcast HQ, and you can see more from me and Topher over there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep up with us in the comments.